Yeah, they're gonna bring me one.
Okay, I got the camera, so make sure you're looking this way.
Thank you. I don't know, we'll just swing it. How's that sound? Awesome. And this is on? Okay. All right. Does this setup look okay, you guys?
Amazing.
Okay, welcome, welcome. This is our amazing LifeVantage medical panel. We have Dr. Bly Hatch, who is a chiropractor, acupuncturist, I mean, just a whole holistic healer, okay? Dr. Nancy Bryan, I'm gonna ramble here. So Dr. Nancy Bryan, she's a pharmacologist, molecular biologist, biochemist, compound pharmacist, 2 times breast cancer, 3 times skin cancer warrior. Grandma. Just a beautiful, and a veterinarian compound pharmacist as well, and formulator for products and some of the LifeVantage products. I think I did okay. All right, Dr. Janet Klein, she's been in the holistic health industry for about 30 years, or if not more. Okay, so she's a chiropractor, she's an acupuncturist, there's so many things that she does, very intuitive with people and their healing. Dr. Brett Brimhall is like a brother, love you, and he has also served on the Science Advisory Board for LifeVantage as well as Dr. Nancy, and he is the, what is it, the 6
Steps of wellness.
6 Steps to Wellness founded. He has been a formulator of products, grew up in the industry. His father was a chiropractor, is a chiropractor. Brett is way more than a chiropractor, and chiropractors are awesome because they know the body so well. People from all over the world come to him to see him. He's an expert in brain health as well, so you'll hear a little bit more about that. Isa Dinerman, my dear friend, soul sister, she is a holistic esthetician, lives in Prescott, Arizona, and came down today to help. And she's an entrepreneur. She's owned several businesses. She has a holistic skincare. You're going to hear exactly why she said yes to LifeVantage. Sharon LaBraca, also a dear friend of mine from Las Vegas, flew in today, or last night, spent the night at my house. So yes, she is a she's a nurse practitioner that has a beautiful health boutique in Las Vegas. We met at a women's networking event a couple of years ago, and she's killing it. Joanne Shearer Parkin, also my mama in many ways, and my sister in many ways, and a dear friend always. She is a master dietitian and a master nutritionist. She's also a diabetes educator as well as Dr. Nancy. And just, she is the youngest 76-year young lady I know. She plays pickleball daily with her 86-year-old husband. They travel the world together. They laugh together. They love together. They have so much fun together. And she is all about health and wellness and is an expert in gut health. So you're going to hear a lot from her as well. She's just a beautiful soul. So thank you everybody for being here. This is quite a prestigious panel, wouldn't you say? Oh my goodness. All right. So basically, I think we'll start, Bly, with you. Did I give you the microphone?
No,
oh, there you go.
okay.
So basically, you know, what I would just say, you know, what made you say yes to LifeVantage, and you know, why are you here?
Great question. You know, I was introduced to LifeVantage the night my dad was in the hospital passing away, so it was pretty tough. I remember Brett calling me up and he says, "Hey, I want you to come over and meet with a couple of doctors. I want to introduce you to a nutritional product." And I said, "All right." I was kind of in a daze. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I walked in there, and Carrie Williams was there. She was just a little bit over the edge, not bad, though. And she's talking about nerve 2 activation. She's talking about all this stuff, and I'm kind of going, I understand what it means, but right now I'm not in a good space. But they said something about Carrie's son that actually caught my attention. And it was about him having autism and having some struggles and how it helped him. And I had a daughter that was struggling with reading and learning disabilities, and really, she can draw a picture, play a piano, do math like no more, but she could not read without driving everybody crazy. If we read scriptures in the morning in our house, everybody said, "Oh, does she have to read today?" You know, because it took forever. So that's what caught my attention, and that's what got me into LifeVantage.
So glad you're here. Thank you so much.
And
Same-
just- Yeah.
Same question for you, Dr. Nancy, is, if you had to tell people why activation and why LifeVantage, what would you say?
I think for me, the biggest thing, especially with my background in molecular biochemistry, understanding the body and understanding how important it is that the body does the work. I think that that's probably the biggest key to what we have, is that when you have something activating your own, there's still so many things we don't know. God knows so much more than we do. We're learning, and we're learning more every day, all the time. But to have your own body turn back on and have those pathways, for me, when I first saw this, and by the way, I want you to all to know, you don't need to know all this stuff. A surfer told me about this, okay? Just so you know, a surfer, all right? It's just the fact that you couple the fact of what it does, this activation of turning on our own body's abilities, but more than that, it was the care that this company took to make sure that what we do repeats itself over and over. And you have to understand the supplement business and nutrient business. You're taking plant parts from all over the world, all right? And to understand that we had the abilities to send our own people to go get and ascertain our products, to utilize, so that when we make our products, we're gonna see the same results over and over. That's the pharmaceutical family I came from. Why pharmaceuticals were so different and why they can make all those claims is because they can show the FDA, hey, we can make this synthetic thing the same way over and over and over and over. They expect the same results. Well, when you have the ability in a company and the care that they took, that the nutrients that we get, that there's so many times when they're gonna give us raw ingredients and we'll test them and go, no, it's not containing the things we need. And for them to take that kind of care, you just didn't see that in the other companies that I saw. And so as a result of it, we can expect that same expectation of repeating over and over. And it was why the FDA gave us the ability to be able to say, reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. That seems like something we're all kind of used to hearing, but I will tell you, in this industry, people can't say that because they're just taking plants and parts from all over and they don't even know what's in them. We do. And that, for me, was one of the biggest reasons that brought me to the company.
And the manufacturing practices as well, very high. Janet, Dr. Klein. So what is your favorite product and why? And why did you say yes to LifeVantage?
So it took me a while to say yes to LifeVantage. I think everybody's known my story, but Dr. Bramhall has been, well, probably 11 years now, because I started a year ago, and he would occasionally say, hey, we got a new product, we got a new product. Well, I grew up in a very medical kind of a family. All my sisters are nurses and OBGYN and anesthesia. My dad was on the hospital board. I knew in 8th grade I wanted to be a chiropractor, so I grew up wanting to help people. But because I've been a chiropractor almost 40 years, I've been introduced to so many different supplements and so many different therapies and procedures and you name it, and in really good stuff because I've been doing it forever. So every time he kept saying, it's like, no, I don't want to hear about it. So a year ago when they released our GLP and our MD core, he said, you're really gonna want to look at this now. And I said, okay. I said, I'll do it because I had belly fat, I had these inches that even in your 60s, that was the worst place of trying to lose it, and even intermittent fasting and dieting and hormones are out of whack. So I said, okay, if it works, then I will talk. Well, it did.
And she's talking.
And I'm talking. But here's the amazing thing, because I hate when they say, well, what's your favorite product? Because, I mean, I started because of that, and then, of course, had to tell everybody about it. Because I have done this for almost 40 years, and because I have been introduced to so many different products, I have seen a lot of things in these 4 years. In this last year, I have never seen, the results that I have seen in my patients and friends and families like I have seen with these products. So that is my mission and my passion, to let everybody know that there is definitely a difference. And so I'll turn it over to him for thanking him for not giving up on me. So if you've been talking to somebody.
Never stop following up. No does not mean no. It just means not now, or it just means yes to their life.
Right.
They're saying yes to their life. They're not saying no to you.
And I had really good, things with collagen and things like that, but that's for another story. So I did use it a few years ago, but not to do anything else with it. And miraculous things, but all right.
All
You're
right.
next.
Dr. Brett Brimhall, what is a doc like you doing in a place like this? So, I mean, there's so much you can share. You have so much knowledge and never a word wasted.
Well, appreciate you all being here.
You want some water? I have a bottle of water.
No, she started it. So, so really, why are we all here? But for me, like, it started not because I was looking for a company, I wasn't looking for a product. I was working with Carrie's son, Luke, and we did everything that we know. And I'm no stranger to teaching and training and creating supplements, but we have done everything we could with our son, and he was making just small bits of progress. And when he started the Axio, it was like something switched in him. It's all of a sudden, all the things we had been doing worked. It's like something switched where everything that was there, everything he'd been learning, everything he'd been experiencing, it's like he could now get it out. And I didn't practice at that point, close to 15 years. It didn't make sense in my head that something like as simple as a product that didn't look that special, those were my words, would make this change in this little guy. And believe me, he didn't want to take any more supplements. And he didn't want to go to more therapy. He's doing 35 hours a week. And that's what it took for me to be open to the idea that Carrie, who was Bath and Body Works store manager originally, had something that I needed. So that led me to South Dakota on a week's notice to meet the scientists to develop the product and to be introduced into network marketing. I've never thought I'd be in a place like this. I got paid to teach, not and not coming in here to just do something like this. But I couldn't deny what I'd seen in her son, and so that has changed what Janet alluded to. When I came back from South Dakota, I took all my most difficult patients and I said, hey, these are the people I've done everything we could. They just weren't getting better. They were doing everything I asked them to do. And I was getting results with them that I hadn't got in 15 years. And I knew that what we had created was different because we didn't have to guess, does this turn body's potential? It does. So you don't have to doubt the products. I think the products don't have to be proven, but they only work if you put it in you. What I can tell you is this, that the products, if you look at the science and put them in your body, you have now a tool that is available to you if you'll use it. It's going to allow your body to perform at levels that it hasn't in a really, really long time. And we know that from the studies, we know that from the experience. Super grateful about that. From the business standpoint, I would say this, network marketing, if you let it get into you, will help you become better than you thought you could be. It'll develop you into things you always wanted to be. If you'll take it and embrace that process, because it's going to be a lot about personal growth. It'll be a lot about your ability to impact other people, and that has shaped my life to where I'm a better dad because now I have time. I've always had good business, but I always had to be in the business to make money. But where I really want to be is just to be a better dad. So if you allow it to embrace the products, they work. Just put them in you. If you learn to do the business in the right way, it can give you the time back that you're looking for. But do it the right way. And that's really what I learned from Carrie and being the leaders in this room.
Thank you, Brett. That was awesome. Isa, as a holistic esthetician, I mean, it wasn't even this collagen and the skincare that brought you into the business, but now we have evolved into that. So talk a little bit about why you joined and just what you're thinking about with the collagen and our other products.
Thank you. Marisa is the person, the beautiful soul that introduced me to this company, and I was a shop owner, a boutique owner, and had several employees. We were doing so well that we decided it would be a great idea to open a second location in Arizona. And so I became a mom, just shy of 42, and started to really see, I've always been very, very business minded, started to really see the retail model shifting. And we got an Ulta and a Sephora up in Prescott where I live. I live in a resort town. And I started to see my clients realizing it might be easier, instead of coming into my shop and coming downtown and parking, to just order it online. So I started to really see that, and it's right where we are today. And Marisa came in for a brow wax, and she introduced me to, she was around the time.
It was
Tara
a brow
talking.
wax.
It was a brow. But we had Protandim NRF2, and we had our True Science skincare line. And when she mentioned this to me about Protandim and that it fights free radical damage, I thought I would have heard about this, because I've always been about the inside-out approach to beauty. But you don't know what you don't know. And it didn't take long. I took a long time too, Janet. So 4 years later, Marisa always followed up with me, kept up, introduced me to Maria and Carrie, and kept me connected to the community. And 4 years later, I had sold my businesses, got into teaching aerial yoga, and started doing wellness retreats, because I thought, what can I do where I can have this time out of this retail space? And that wasn't it, because I was in Costa Rica all the time. But in Costa Rica, 4 years after I learned about this from Marisa, I had a guest on my retreat who is a top leader in LifeVantage, and I overheard conversations that she was having with other guests at lunch about Protandim and about an ABC investigative report. And I just listened, and I thought, if this isn't the best example of word of mouth and network marketing, I mean, I didn't know network marketing in this capacity, but I just knew that word of mouth marketing is where it's at. And I reached out to Marisa, and I said, is this what you were trying to show me? And it was. And so that's what got me. The product I started as soon as I got back. I'd already made the decision, but as soon as I experienced Protandim NRF2, that was it for me. It really addressed a lot of issues that I was dealing with in my life and my health. And to me, as someone, as an holistic esthetician, someone who's looking at how we can age optimally and address oxidative stress and all visible issues that Tara beautifully mentioned that come along with aging, that was it. So activated collagen, though, that came out 3 years ago, and that was a game changer as well. So I'm looking at our products. I just want to be clear to everyone too. If you're thinking of people, this is everyone needs cellular health, and that's the basis of everything. And so with that foundation, not only are we going to look better, but we're going to feel better and have more life in our years, as you said, Tara. So
Thank you. Thanks so much, Isa. Sharon LaBraca, thank you for sitting with me at a table in Dallas, Texas 2 years ago. And I just, we had the elevator speech, right? You had a minute to say what you did. I mentioned the word nutrigenomics, and I think she jumped out of her chair. And the rest is history. She's built a beautiful business with LifeVantage while she works full-time, holding down a bricks and mortar that's stressing her out big time. So tell me what's going through your head. I just want you to be really authentic and why you love LifeVantage so much. Maybe the products that really speak to you. You have your own health story.
Once upon a time in my life now. So, I always think of myself as a simple nurse, and I have extensive medical experience for over 30 years in the pediatric ICU, and watched my father struggle through chronic health conditions, and went back to nurse practitioner school because I wanted to understand what was happening to him. I became a nurse practitioner and started to manage chronic disease processes until COVID, and I got sick to my stomach. And I decided, I made it a mission that I was going to help people in a different way, and set out to study cellular medicine and learned about NRF2 activation, cellular science, and I was very excited about what that meant for the population and aging and chronic disease, because that was what I was battling with. And so I am traditionally trained, and at that time decided to practice in a more holistic, functional way. My mission since then has been to do that. So when I met Marisa and she mentioned nutrigenomics, I had been working with that, and I said, wait a minute, you might have even said NRF2 activation. And I thought, who the heck said that? Why would you say that? So that's why my neck snapped back. I've not heard that before. So I said, I have to talk to you. And that was the beginning, and that was 2 years ago. Since then, because I have a servant's heart, so I opened my boutique because I really want to help people. And so the money wasn't a thing. So I would call up Marisa and I would say, oh, you see these $2, $5 coming in commission. And I'm like, oh, forget this. So I didn't think of it as a business opportunity. But I started to take it myself and I started offering my clients. And something miraculous started happening. People were getting better faster. And I'd been doing by this point oxidative therapies like ozone therapy, peptide therapy, all the different things. So I'm doing some pretty powerful things. But I wanted something where my clients would come in and they would get these incredible treatments, but they would quickly start tanking again. And I was throwing supplements at them and people would complain and I got sick of it. So when I saw 5 of the ingredients that I would give to people in one pill, I got super excited. And so I had actually something happen to me because I went to the first convention because Marisa wouldn't take no for an answer.
Thank you, Carrie.
And
Maria.
I had a terrible thing happen to me, which I didn't at the time realize was a bulging disc. This guy here gave me his belt. He literally took his belt off and wrapped it around me after adjusting me. Do you remember that? Did you get your belt back?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Okay. But that helped me to stabilize my hips and whatever was going on. I later learned that I had a bulging disc at L5S1. 6 months later, it was 50% reduced. That wasn't what I was told would be the case. So and we can't treat, mitigate, or all that good stuff, but I'm telling you, I feel that being on these products was one of the reasons, the collagen and that protandem. Watching my clients just get better faster got excited for me. And so I called up Marisa one day and I said, Marisa, what is a hyper wallet or something like that? This story is great. So I told me about the back office. I went into my hyper wallet and this had been about 8 months, I believe, into the business. And there was almost $6,000 in there. I said, oh, this is a true business. Well, since then, I think I heard Brett, Doctor, you spoke on stage and I heard him say, this made an impact on me. One by one in my clinic, I can help one person at a time. With this opportunity, I can tell one person who tells 2 and so forth and so forth. How many people am I helping? Here's my mission coming to a helm. So that's why I'm here.
Powerful. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. That was amazing. Joanne. Oh. So Joanne has been in LifeVantage 15 and a half years, I believe it's that.
15 in January.
And was introduced to LifeVantage by a cardiologist.
Yep, right.
And when you saw the science, you started taking it. You too were not really into the business yet, but then all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so.
She's my upline.
Yeah. So I was working as Director of Nutrition Services at a cardiovascular hospital in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And my very, very dear friend, Dr. Gordon, introduced me to LifeVantage. And I knew a lot about oxidative stress before I went to that meeting. I had been teaching it to my patients, to the doctors, and to the staff about oxidative stress. And the reason why I wanted everybody to eat the Mediterranean diet was because it was the one dietary pattern that was the most powerful at reducing oxidative stress. And if you reduced oxidative stress, you would get to the root cause of heart disease. So you see, I already had that, and I knew that going into that meeting. And so to me, it was kind of like a no-brainer, because first of all, I wasn't going to be like that gray-haired doctor in that ABC primetime saying, I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old, and I wish I would have taken it, because I was 61 at the time, and I'm thinking, I knew that you don't have to accept decline in aging as you get older. And so I was all about that, for sure. And I was also thinking about, in my mind, you know, Rolodexing. Do you remember the Rolodex? Anybody besides me? Rolodexing all my family members and my girlfriends that have all these health problems. All I could think of is, oh my goodness, I have to tell them about this. And that's when Dr. Gordon said, well, you're going to have to become, you know, a consultant in Life Antage. And I'm like, oh no, I don't have time for this. You know, I'm busy. But I did get started with Life Antage, and all I did was share the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. Dr. Janet over there did that to what, 50 people, and you had amazing results, and that's what I did to get started. Right? And you know, it was interesting because Sharon was talking about the hyper wallet, how she, you know, this money was built up in her account. I didn't even think about the money part of this, honestly, at all. I just thought I had to get this in the hands of people. And I actually really needed extra income. I was a widow. I've been widowed for about a year. And I was looking at my retirement account, and I was short like a couple $1,000s a month. So I really hadn't really been, thinking about the money part of this business. But, you know, I was out there sharing, and people were enrolling, and I would get these checks. I signed up when they sent us a check. And I was so busy. I was running my husband's little real estate company, his business, and had these renters. And when the checks would come in from the renters, I put them in this little basket. And so when my Life Antage checks came in, I stuck them in the same basket. I didn't even open them because I was thinking, $10, $5, whatever. I had no idea how the compensation plan worked. And it was after about 6 to 8 weeks when I finally opened up the checks, because I was going to deposit the rent, and I opened up my checks from Life Antage. $1,000. And a little still small voice inside of me said, this is my provision for you. I knew it was God speaking to me at that point, that he had provided this business for me. So I decided I would really start to try to, teach this like a business and run it like a business. And so I remember I was just getting started and doing well, and then my boss came into my office, and he said, the previous director of the marketing department joined a network marketing company, and I made her choose between her company and her job. And that was another wake-up call for me, because I always thought I was like security. You ever think that, oh man, I'm gonna be in this job forever? I have built this hospital, but he said, I was the one who, put you as the face of this hospital, whatever. Anyway, so I knew at that point that this business is what God had provided for me, and that I really needed to take this serious. And it was just within 2 years, I was able to walk out of my windowless office and into this new freedom that I now have and I now live. And, I'm remarried, a wonderful man, Jim Parkin, and he's my business manager in my business. And we have like the dream retirement lifestyle. So if you're out there, you young people, if you have some 60-year-olds in your family, you got an aunt that's a widow, she's 60, and you're not talking to her about Life Antage, really? What if Dr. Gordon had said, oh, Joe, she's a widow and she's old, she's 61, what I'm saying? Because if you're 30, you think 61's old. But, so I wouldn't be here.
Thank you, Joanne, you're amazing, thank you. So real quick, you guys, I just want, real quick, because we want to talk P84, it's our brand new product, and Joanne, really wanted to address some of the questions, so I may come around to some of you all here, but if you're taking Mind Body, GLP-1, and you're taking some of the other prebiotics and probiotics, should you still take those if you're taking P84?
I think that if you're having and have had really great success with some of our gut health products, certainly you can continue to take those and take P84 with it, and then just kind of evaluate where you are after like 120 days and see if you can maybe change up your routine, maybe drop off 1 or 2 of those products. That's kind of what I'm thinking and believing with P84, and I don't know if anybody has anything else that they would like to offer?
Well, I was gonna, whoever might want to address this one is how does a healthy microbiome help with weight management? Because I know a lot of, you want to answer that? Okay, because I know there are a lot of people who have started P84 that have lost weight, and it's not technically a weight loss product.
Well, I think because of mind body.
And that would be me too, by the way.
Yeah, and I think because of mind body, we learned a lot about the role of the gut in weight management, right? I think what we kind of, all of you here, if you've been around, you understand. And there's really like 3 ways that your gut microbiome really helps you with weight management. Well, number 1 is your gut produces all these anti-hunger hormones that help with that gut-brain axis and helps with satiety, tells you when you're full, helps with food cravings. And we know about GLP-1, but you know, there's several other anti-hunger hormones that are produced besides GLP-1. PYY, CCK, GIP, and on. Leptin is another one. So when you're taking P84, you're not only getting activation of the GLP-1, you're getting all those other anti-hunger hormones as well. And again, if you have the dysbiosis and you have some kind of bad
Tell
bacteria,
people what that is, dysbiosis.
Dysbiosis, imbalance of good and bad bacteria. So you have this imbalance, you have too much of this certain kind of bacteria in your gut. It will extract more calories from food. Can you believe that? So, you know, people, that's why people on the same diet, the same calories, and some people will gain more weight. It's because of that dysbiosis. And the third thing would be the inflammation in your gut as well, which also interferes with, you know, management of insulin resistance, and your glucose management. And if you have too much insulin, you tend to store fat. So there's so many ways that a healthy gut microbiome is going to help you with your weight. So that helps.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else wanted to mention anything about P84?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay,
Good job.
So,
thank you.
I'll just get over all the hard ones she got all. But I think P84 for just, I want to set it up this way. This is a huge opportunity to get activation in the hands of people that don't quite understand what activation is. And as I kind of went through my last couple of weeks with patients, I have a lot of children I treat. All of them have gut problems. I work with a lot of moms that have with gut problems. So to me, this is a way we have an ability to get these fruits, vegetables, and all the good foods into people in a way that we never had before. To open up that conversation around activation. I can't tell you how many little kids that I get come in that I work with, and they don't want to take supplements, or they can't take supplements. They say won't swallow food. Even some adult men won't swallow supplements. And as I'm watching people be able to have the ability to get all these great things into them and activate their peptides, it's a very, very easy conversation for people to have more success with what they're doing. Because if you can't digest it, or assimilate it, or eliminate it, you're gonna have problems with whatever you have problems with. And this is a giant tool that we now have. So if you struggle losing weight, which I've seen with a lot of people for different reasons, maybe, and I've had people with on the synthetic GLPs not lose weight. A lot of it goes back to their digestive tract is dysfunctional. So this to us is just a unique tool. You're gonna have a lot of satiety, I've noticed, with people with on the P84. But it's a great tool. I think it's probably one of the easiest conversations I've ever seen happen when it comes to activation, is that, hey, do you think you have gut problems? So don't underestimate that. And there's so much good science, so look at it. If you're curious, if you think that maybe P84 or microbiome health might help you, just go type in the internet or ChatGPT, whatever you're worried about, and microbiome problems or gut problems. And guess what? Like probably 100% are gonna come up correlated. And to have something that we know activates peptides, nobody's talking that way. Everybody knows about peptides. Who hasn't heard of a peptide? Anybody not heard of a peptide? Everybody knows what a peptide is. If your body can't make your own peptides, you can't regulate it. We now have the ability to activate the production of peptides by your body's ability to make it. That's a very unique story that we have that most people aren't even talking about. Use that story. I love the fact that we know the products are going to do that. So there's just a couple of things if you want to know the science, dig into it, read the books, but you don't have to guess if it's working like that. If you're not getting the results you want, we maybe want to stack the products on it and say, okay, what fits? And there's some people that want to do everything. Great. Like me, I want to do everything. There's others, like if you have to pick and choose, like pick and choose the gut and nerve too. Like,
And add collagen.
yeah, to me, that's hard.
Axio.
But you gotta, whatever they're most concerned about is what you want to address. So whatever they're concerned about, what you want to address, so if they're concerned about their skin, their hair, their nails, then you need to throw collagen in there. If they're concerned about their brain, like to me, Axial. Like, I don't want to go without any of them, but make sure you can write it back to what they want.
Well, and even with the P84, it can help with the mental
Oh,
clarity,
so
for
much.
sure, because the gut-brain axis is there, yes.
The gut brain is fantastic as far as the P84, because I wasn't expecting any kind of results when I started it, because I'm on everything else. I thought, well, I'll try it, but I'm on such great things. And what I noticed was that I became much happier.
How could you be happier than you
My
already are?
husband is greatly appreciative, because I'm not like this at him anymore. So hormonal wise, something clicked. It was like
Ooh,
amazing. So, but the other thing is the patients that I have that are on the mind body GLP. I have some that are doing great, that are losing weight, that are having fantastic. I'm not changing them because they already asked, I need to add this. And I'm like, we can definitely add this. And so some are like, but I'm doing so good what I'm doing. I said, well, then don't change it. And then I have this group of patients that say, well, I didn't lose the weight like I wanted to. I feel better, I'm sleeping better, and all the other things that the mind body does. For those, I'm saying, okay, we're going to stop that because your gut is not activated enough. You have other problems going on in your gut, and so just switch and do P84. So for those that have tried both, that have tried, the mind body and think I'm not getting the results, definitely this is going to kick it in and change things, don't you think? Yeah.
because when the P84, my understanding is you are now absorbing nutrients better. And when your gut starts and your microbiome starts absorbing those nutrients better, then the other products and any foods you eat are also going to be,
Right, because you
absorb better.
can eat healthy, you can do everything, but if your lining is not working, or you have leaky gut, or you're not absorbing, or it's inflamed, until you fix that, even if you're eating the healthiest of things, you're not going to absorb any of the nutrients in it either.
sounds great. Anything else you want to add? We probably should be wrapping up. What time is it?
We're getting close.
Are we close? Do we have a,
7:45, yeah.
okay, so
I'd like to share. What other question you have?
that's about it right now. I mean, I could go forever, but let's just say
Questions out there?
in 30 seconds, each one of you, 30 seconds, no more, because I'll cut you off. What has Life Advantage done for you?
Well, Life Advantage actually gave me some financial freedom, time freedom as well. But the coolest thing it did is actually allowed me to lose weight with the collagen and allowed me to gain disc height back in my L4, L5. Just so phenomenal things.
Thank you. Dr. Nancy?
Oh, gosh, there's so many things I won't go on. But you all do need to know, at the time when the surfer told me about this, I was given 6 to 9 months to live. We can't say we treat, mitigate, prevent, or cure, but I'm here, and I'm grateful.
And how many years ago was that?
Let's see, 2000,
10?
it was 2009, 10.
So
Yes.
16 years. That's
And,
6 to 9 months.
and the best part, wait for it, this is the one small, guess what? My hematology oncologist, after being on just the NRF2, back then is what we had. In the brief time between my blood work, which had to be done about every, 3 or 4 weeks at that time. He came into, well, the first thing they did is they called me and they told me that the labs messed up and I had to have my blood work done again, which was like 9 tubes of blood, which when you're anemic to begin with is not a good idea. But I had to go back in, and it was because when they saw the blood work, he could not believe it. This is the top hematology oncologist in the state of Arizona, okay? And he came into the room and sat on the table with me as I'm in my paper robe, so comfortable, and was going through everything and going, explain this. And you know what, for me, the rest is history. It was like, you know what, I wasn't gonna do this, I just needed to get well then. But you know what, so many other things have happened then, the stories go on, and I'm just so grateful.
And she's helping animals too.
And I do lots with animals, lots of it. Yes, and our horse won Derby last year, small inside secret.
On NRF2 activation, by the way, Kentucky Derby horse. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Janet, what has this done for you? Quickly?
quickly, it's just brought me a new look on life. Like I said, I've been used to taking care of people almost my whole entire life, but just seeing your story and people's stories and the lives that we're touching is probably the most impactful, because even on the financial health, so they're turning passion into, you know, their purpose into passion and their wellness into wealth. Because if you're struggling financially, it's going to affect your health. So when you look at both ways and you give people an option of what they want to do with this, I think that the people's lives that we're changing with this, starting with health, and them realizing that they have an option now to get out of a toxic kind of situation work-wise, that's all of that. It's just knowing that I'm empowering people to make big, huge changes in their life. And all the new people that I'm getting to meet along the way that I would not have met. So, thank you.
Brett.
All right, 30 seconds. I'd say impact, ability to influence more people, and to be a part of more experiences, hearing your stories. Time, ability to have more time options to be with my family, those I love, travel. And I would really say for me, growth and purpose. It's when my mom passed away, there's a lot of me that kind of like left, and like this has got me back doing what I needed to do, being right here where I am right now, and that's what we need from each of you.
Dr. Brett's telepathically hearing my brain. I would say impact, and here's what I know. We all want to have an impact in someone's life, whether it's a family member, a friend, your employees, whatever it is. We all want to have impact because that drives purpose. And so LifeVantage has given me that. It's given me community during some very tough times. It's given me community because I know that I can keep going because I have that purpose. There's one more person that needs to know what we have, and it's just a sense of it's what drives me.
Thank you, Lisa. Sharon.
Mine is pretty similar. The impact of the community, meeting and growing with everyone that I've met, that I would not have met had I not been introduced to this, and mindset shifts like nuts. Like, if you're gonna do this business, you have to look within. So I thought I did, but there are a lot of doors that open up doing this. And then a possible avenue for financial freedom that can release me from my brick and mortar.
I would say kind of echo the same as others, is that a purpose in my life, because after my husband died, I really did need a new purpose, and LifeVantage just came along at that time when I needed that. And also, I would say is that the last time that I visited my doctor, I'm 76, and she handed me this sheet of paper that said my biological age is 60.
Wow. Thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being on this panel. We are so blessed here in Arizona to have you. And Sharon, thank you for flying in. I just asked her, and she's like, I gotta come in. So appreciate that. So thank you all. Any last words, Tara? Do you want to say anything before we wrap up?
You don't have to be a doctor to be successful.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a doctor to be successful, but we really love that the medical profession gets this, and network marketing is a beautiful business model. So it is the business of the 21st century. And how do you get to know things in your life? How do you learn about a new book or a restaurant or a church or whatever it might be? It's really word of mouth. A doctor, right? It's word of mouth. That's what this is. And so if you can fall in love with these products and a few basic business principles, you can change your life if you're looking for that. Otherwise, we say be a customer, but everybody needs to be on these products for sure. Pardon me?
Her house.
So tomorrow there's a training
Oh.
at Tara's house.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, so Tara is graciously hosting a training and luncheon at her house. It's a potluck, so we would ask everybody to bring something. But especially if you're a guest too, and you're interested or you'd like to see how do you do this? Like, how do you do this? Because I didn't know anything about this industry, you guys. I've always worked for other people. And so I just listened to people that had paved the way and showed me the way, and it works. And it's simple. It's a simple business for success. So Tara's hosting from 12 to 3 at her house tomorrow in Paradise Valley. So if it's something that speaks to you, get back to the person that invited you, and we can get you her address and have you come, and it's a lot of fun in her beautiful home in PV. So.
And if you can send a video, you can do this business.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I would call them up and say,
We have lots of fun
I don't know
videos
about
and,
this, can you send me a video to send?
you're never doing this business alone. So I am so grateful for this business. This business has given our family lots of choices, and my husband was able to retire from his full-time job 5 years earlier. So he's been retired for 3 years at age 59. And it was, you know, he did his own thing as well, but at the same time, knowing what I was doing in this business made it a much easier decision for him to leave a toxic work environment that he loved for 25 out of the 30 years he was there. But then got a new boss and felt like he didn't matter anymore, and his self-esteem was really suffering. And so what does that cause? Health issues, right? And is that worth it? No. I said, come home, we'll make it work. So thank you all for your time. And for taking the time tonight to be here. We appreciate you so much. Get back to the person that, oh, wait, we have raffles.
Can you
Tonight,
use that box?
We're gonna box tomorrow, you're gonna get the real deal, how to be a millionaire.
And you guys, seriously,
And if you're new, don't have to bring anything, we have plenty of people bringing food.
we have gifts for you. We have gifts for you.
Great job.
Okay, so we have a raffle, and we have some swag to give away, so hang on. Thank you again, everybody, for being, get your raffle tickets out.
So should we give to?
And Victor.
Oh. All right. Wonderful. I look thanks so much.